Hi everyone, week 4, we're going to start with infancy. Now you'll notice that week 4 and 5 are both infancy. 4 is going to be with chapter 3, and it's going to look specifically at the physical and cognitive growth in infancy. And then the next chapter, we will look at the social and emotional growth in infancy. Lots of things happening at this stage. Babies are going from newly born beings to very experienced in one full year of life. And so there is a lot of changes that happen. So you will see that you have the resources as per normal. You've got your study guide, your PowerPoints, and then you'll also see a lot of videos. These videos are really fascinating to watch. They're short clips, and they're all about how babies start to process the world on a cognitive level. There's a little bit on language, as you can see here with the milestones, imitation, how babies are interacting with their environment, specifically their people, like their parents, habituation and dishabituation, which very early on shows us that babies actually do pay attention to things, and they have an attention span that can be quick or short, depending upon what it is that they're looking at. So let's go over your assignments for this week. So the first thing you will be doing is taking what you did in chapter 2 or week 2 when you looked at nature versus nurture, and you're going to look at it through language. Okay, so basically very similar to the prompt in that week, I want you to apply the nature versus nurture argument to language development. There is a lot of evidence out there for both sides. I want you to research how language develops. I want you to cite examples for nature and examples for nurture, so genetics and environment. And then I want you to evaluate and present what your opinion is in terms of what is more influential. Please feel free to use your own experience as well as additional sources, but also please provide references for those sources. As always, you have to have your first post done by Wednesday at 11:59 so that other students can comment on that. And then your final post is due Sunday at 11:59. The other assignment that you have for this week is one that goes about my saying. This is my saying. I always say the wheels are turning. That is what I use to explain the phenomenon that you see of infants taking in things and processing things, though they may not necessarily be able to communicate back, okay? So these are the videos that are also in the resources. So you've got one on Piaget's stages, which is the sensory motor stage in this age group. You also have one about perception and visual preferences by Fantz. There is a study in which Washington University looked specifically at infants, and we're looking for different visual cues, what they could see or perceive. Also depth perception in the visual clip. You guys probably might remember this from Psych 101. And then imitation. So all of these are different videos. That's that link here for the Fantz study, just so you guys know. So they're all pulled over, minus for some reason that one did not. And you can watch all of these, and they are, like I said, they're quick, they're short. But what I want you to do is really think about what babies are able to take away from their environment. So how do they process their environment? What are examples that you can pull either from real life or from some of these videos that tell us how infants perceive and imitate things? And lastly, what about the looking preferences? Your text will talk to you about Fantz's studies and how he found that babies actually prefer to look at the human face. I want you to think about that and really describe how you feel that babies are able to process the world, even though they may not necessarily be able to communicate about their world. So as you can see, same rubric here. I want you to discuss content in the video and the readings to go along with the prompt. I want you to integrate class material. I want you to support deeply your ideas. Make sure that you are using appropriate word choice, punctuation, and citations, and then your structure as a whole. So lastly, you do have a worksheet for this week, and this is going to help you with, again, quiz prep. So that is your worksheet for Unit 3. those are your assignments for this week. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I hope that you guys have a great week. Thanks.